What's good, y'all, man? I ain't gonna lie. Can we talk a little bit about the day that USC is having right now? I mean, they not playing around, bro. I mean, this past weekend, they must have really hit it off with these recruits, especially in the trenches and defensive line position. We're gonna talk about one from earlier this morning that we'll talk about in just a second. But this is big breaking news right now from via Hayes Fawcett of On 3 Sports. Isaiah Gibson officially commits from Warner Robins, Georgia, chose the Trojans, committed to USC guys over Georgia, Oregon, and Oklahoma, ranked as a top 25 recruit in the 2025 class. What's interesting is I talked to him a little bit, Isaiah, to kind of see how it was going. And I'm not going to lie, I did not kind of see this coming. I seen Georgia was heavy out there for him. When we talked to him and see him at the Under Armour camp, that was high on his list. He really liked the NC State, from what he told me, and kind of, the program being on the rise. He really liked the Clemson as well and what their program had to offer. I believe he was just recently there for one of their big recruiting weekends. So I'm not going to lie, man. I thought he was going to stay probably in the Southeast, either SEC, ACC. So this one did catch me a little bit by surprise. But as you guys all know, recruiting, man, anything can happen. You can be committed one minute and next thing you flip. So I think it's interesting. The kid can play. He's really good, y'all. I mean, he plays as a multi-sport athlete, plays basketball, plays football. He just an absolute dude off the edge, man. And again, y'all can go look. I did a couple shorts on him on my channel, on my YouTube channel, man. Go check it out. He's just a quick dude. He was absolutely dominant competition in the Under Armour camp. And they couldn't block him, man. He could beat you with speed. He could beat you with physicality, and he could beat you with power. So they're getting a full package, and I think this is what USC needs under Lincoln Riley. They need good defensive pieces, man, to come in there and change it up because they've had the star quarterbacks in there, right? They had Caleb Williams this past 2 seasons. One he won a Heisman. This year was a really good year, but defensively they have not been able to stop people. And how do you answer those type of questions, y'all? You go in these classes, the recruiting classes, the 2025s, the 2026s, and you get guys like this. That is the way to do it. Now, also for USC, and I'm very high on Justus Terry. Absolute beast, man. Had over 10-plus sacks this past season. I believe he had 15. Was an absolute monster down there in Manchester. They ended up going to a state championship. They lost to their rival Bowden, who they beat earlier this year, but lost in the state championship in a very close game. They was dealing with a lot. But this kid right here, man, he's a beast. I thought he just fits the Georgia program so well. Obviously, Kirby Smart's not going to give up. The defensive line coach, the defensive coordinator is not going to give up on recruiting for Justus Terry because, guys, he just feels like that guy could really be that kind of staple in that defensive line group for the Georgia Bulldogs. And they've been missing that a little bit at the defensive tackle spot ever since Jordan Davis has went to the draft and really Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was an absolute beast, man, if y'all don't remember him, what he did for the Bulldogs. And he just reminds me of him and what he could come in and bring in. So I just thought the fit was perfect. But same thing, man. As I said, USC knocking it out the box. They also landed Justus Terry. So you land 2 elite players for your defense. You got to be feeling good if you're Lincoln Riley. Obviously, you also got Juju Lewis. A lot of people said they think he's going to flip. That remains to be seen. We will find out. But you got to feel really good about your 25 class. Having Juju Lewis, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Then you add Justus Terry, one of the top defensive tackles, top defensive linemen in the country. And you added Isaiah Gibson. So whatever weekend they had this past Saturday, Friday, they really impressed these recruits, man. And it's looking very good for him. But real quick, before we wrap up, I want to talk about the quote that he said. So via On 3 from Chad Simmons himself, says, I trust his coaching and the way he plans on utilizing me. USC DL coach Eric Henderson was a major factor in 5-star Justus Terry flipping from Georgia to the Trojans. So again, that goes back to, real quick, just how important relationships are in the recruiting process, how much they matter, man, because like I said, you can go to a school because of the program right now, man. I mean, if we're thinking about it, even though they didn't win it this year, we know Georgia is the staple program right now in college football. We know they're the creme de la creme. But it's all about relationships. So that relationship that Eric Henderson built with Justus Terry made him feel good. He wants to go there. He wants to be an entrepreneur. And you know what I'm saying? He feels like that fits him the best in going forward and for his career and what he wants to do on and off the field. So relationships are big, y'all, when it comes to recruiting, man. And USC knocks it out the box. Shout out to them, man. If they can keep these 2 recruits, man, they are well on their way. I think they're in the Big Ten now. They're well on their way to getting back to what USC football is all about. So we're going to be interesting to see. But shout out to them, man. Landing these 2 elite prospects. If they can keep them, USC is going a long way, man, in changing the program. Obviously, it's been good. At times, different pieces have been great, but they want to get to elite, and this is how you do it.